Welcome to the first edition of Over the Top with myself, Bubs Conley, and the one and only Mr. Immaculate, Mac for short.
That's Mac for short.
Hey, this edition we're going to be talking about Wrestlemainia, which is a little over 24 hours away. Predictions, thoughts, comments. Let's kick it off with what's going to be on the kickoff show. 2 battle royals and a cruiserweight title defense. Women's Battle Royal. What I want to know is, what is the WWE doing with Asuka?
Asuka. Well, they really blew it if you ask me. Asuka was dominant for so long. She came to the main roster, showed some of that dominance. Took a while to get a championship opportunity. They flirted with her for a while. Once she got that opportunity, it was Carmella who became champion. And Asuka, actually, if you remember, she took some of her earlier losses to people like Carmella and the Iconics, actually. And I don't know. It's like she doesn't lose the ones you expect her to lose, but we're going to have to figure out what's going on. But I do predict Asuka's going to win this Battle Royal. I don't really see anybody, unless they all just gang up on her like they used to do Nia Jax. I don't really see it happening.
My problem with that is it's too predictable, and they've already thrown her away. I think they give an up-and-comer like Ruby Riott and the Riott Squad a victory at the Battle Royal. They come together, show that they're a true dominant team. Ruby Riott wins the Battle Royal.
You're picking Ruby to win it all?
I'm picking Ruby to win the Women's Battle Royal, yes.
I'm going to go with Asuka.
All right, fair enough. Men's Battle Royal. Why is Braun Strowman being wasted again in the Battle Royal?
Braun Strowman, Battle Royal. You know, if they're not going to use him for one of the major belts, I guess it's just going to have to be one of those things where he's just going to have to always have an odds stacked against him. And a Battle Royal is a situation where it's everybody for themselves, but it's everybody against this guy. So I think they're just going to try to, do the same thing they've been doing because it's the safe bet. Obviously, they got their championships tied up elsewhere with other people. Braun Strowman's just getting the short end of the stick right now. People like to see him break things, so right now that's just going to have to do.
That just seems too easy. Hear me out for a minute. What if we finally get the return of Bray Wyatt, who should have some sort of hold or power over Strowman, right? He was his leader. We get an appearance by Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt
takes out Strowman. I mean, that could be something worth seeing, right?
Bray Wyatt. Now, it's been rumored that he's supposed to come back soon. WrestleMania will probably be a good bet for that, but it just depends on what they got planned out. There's other things they can do with Bray Wyatt. He's such a mysterious figure in wrestling anyways. There's a lot they can do with that guy. And we see that Hardy is already back with his brother Jeff. So that I don't expect him to be with Bray Wyatt when he does return. So given what they're doing with Braun Strowman, I think that would be the best bet, is to stick him with Bray Wyatt, have him have some kind of control over Bray Wyatt. And maybe even have Bray Wyatt venture off into messing with Demon Balor now that we finally get a taste of him again. They had their feud in the past. Wrestling really needs something, It really needs something right now, if you ask me. So that situation would be awesome if Bray Wyatt did intervene in that Battle Royal. That'd be cool.
Would be cool, but I don't know if they're going to do it. So I'm going to say Strowman wins the Battle Royal.
Strowman's my pick to win it all.
Fair enough. Now, it seems to me that the Cruiserweight title gets stuck on every pre-show when Buddy Murphy is one of the top performers in the ring, in my opinion. There's no way he loses his title at WrestleMania.
Quite frankly, I really don't watch the Cruiserweight division. It comes on, I believe it comes on after SmackDown maybe. The problem with that is that it comes on the network. It doesn't come on the television channel. So I have a disconnect with that because I'm not going to just immediately flip over and do that. So I've only seen this guy really as a tag team competitor and on the the kickoff shows for these events. And they got him going against Tony Nese. That's funny because last time I seen this guy, he was Enzo Amare's buddy, and he was trying to figure out life after Enzo. So the last time I saw Buddy, he was pretty aggressive. I think I seen him win his belt in Australia, a strong title defense. I'm picking Buddy. I'm gonna pick Buddy to win it all.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna lose. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know that Nice guy like that. I know he's got nice abs though.
Fair enough. Tag team title defenses. There's one match I want to talk about. The other one I don't want to give the time of day. The Raw Tag Team Championship, the Revival versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, thrown together last minute on Monday. I don't care about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to watch it. That's when I'm going to get my snacks, get my refill of my drink, ignore that match. But the tag match I want to see is this Fatal 4-Way. You're pitting the Usos, who is the best pure tag team in the business, in my opinion. Then you have The Bar, two of the best athletes in the business who do keep that standard high. You got two guys thrown together. They're both awesome in my opinion, but they're thrown together. I don't understand it. In Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. And then you got the two up-and-comers who make this weird, awesome team. They were amazing at TakeOver against against the War Raiders, Ricochet and Aleister Black. Who you got?
All right, so I didn't like these two as a team because I love them individually. I don't understand it, but it's been working out. They seem to have a bond and some chemistry going. It'd be nice, I guess, to have fresh faces on top of the tag team division because, I mean, Rusev and Shinsuke, really? Really? Like, if that's not the most random casserole of wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. But I'm going to go with The Bar. I think Aleister Black and Ricochet, it comes down to those two teams. The Usos got in some trouble, if you don't recall, a little bit ago. I think it was in Detroit. One of them got in some issues with Naomi and the police, actually. So they won the belts because I'm pretty sure it happened so close to that pay-per-view that they just didn't write that out. But I'm pretty sure they're going to give those belts up as punishment. So I'm going to pick The Bar because the new guys, I want to see them as individual competitors. I really do.
I can understand that. The thing that's interesting to me is you got Rusev and Shinsuke are kind of like The Bar 2.0, right? You had Sheamus and Cesaro butting heads for so long, couldn't get along, and then they come together and make this amazing tag team. I mean,
Shinsuke is with Rusev because he can't speak English well. Now, if he spoke English a little better, we'd see him maybe still holding the title that he dropped, or maybe even going for a bigger belt. That's why Asuka probably dropped the belt. It's because when you can't speak English well, there's not much that they can do with you unless they stick a manager with you. I mean, personally, I think that maybe they should have gone that route with those two talents, but we'll see what happens. But it's just hard for me to buy those two as a tag team. It's just a cute move by the WWE. At least they're getting a paycheck.
I hear you. For the record, I'm going to stick with the Usos. I think they're the best in the business as a true tag team. They're going to win hands down. Okay, I'll give you one, maybe two sentences. Raw tag team titles. What do you think of this match?
Is that with Zack Ryder?
Yeah.
Okay. Kurt Hawkins.
Losing streak.
Yeah, has he ever won a singles match?
I don't know. Maybe at one point.
But then he went on the streak.
I mean, he's on a pretty long losing streak.
And now he's getting a tag team title opportunity
against the other true Revival. Tag team, in my opinion, is the Revival.
The Revival. Now, they might have a Cinderella story pop off here, but it will be highly unlikely that Kurt Hawkins gets any kind of gold around his waist this soon with teaming up with another loser, in my opinion.
Yeah. There's no place for it.
Nothing against Zach and all.
No
but
place
it's just,
for it.
I don't feel the whole bro movement.
Let's talk about the other tag team match on the card. The women's tag team title defense. You got the Boss and Hug Connection, or whatever they call themselves. And you got two, in my opinion, true professional greats. Beth Phoenix coming back with Natalya. You got Nia Jax and her crutch that is Tamina. And then you have the Iconics. Thoughts?
My only thought is, I just want to see Beth Phoenix slam somebody. I want to see Beth Phoenix come back, win the belt, run off to the sunset. It's all about her being a pioneer for the whole women's movement and coming back just to have her name once again in the hat. They don't want to leave her out when it comes to a new belt being introduced. She's capable of competing, as she will show, and at a high level. I think her coming back, she's still better than most of these women in this match. She deserves it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm picking Natalya, who is another pioneer in my opinion, and Beth Phoenix to solidify their part in women's history in wrestling in this match. If you ask me, New York City, Wrestlemainia, Beth Phoenix came back for this purpose, just like a few other people, in my opinion, came back over the years to solidify their legacy. Beth Phoenix.
I can dig that. The only problem I have is I have this feeling, and we'll get into it later when we talk about the main event, but I have a feeling that these four horsewomen of wrestling are going to be standing together at the end of the show, and they're all going to have titles, except for one of the four can't have titles now that they're unifying the women's championship. So I'm gonna say Banks and Bailey, Nia Jax get a new partner. Tamina is the worst athlete in the business. I can't even stand watching her. Just want to throw that out there. Yeah, so
Isn't
I'm
that
gonna
like Jimmy Snuka's.
Yeah, but
daughter?
she's so bad.
Is it his daughter?
Yeah, but she's terrible. I can't stand watching her.
Yeah, well, you know, gotta look out for your people. She's Nia's cousin too, right?
Yeah.
Are they all related?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. But so I'm going for the record. Boston Hug Connection. Talk about it more at the end. What I think the end of the show might entail.
You know, I call Sasha Banks Reckless Banks for all the times that she's tried to jump from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring and scorpioned. For all the times that I've seen her actually connect knee to head with people with that knee move. For all the times that I've just seen her hurt herself and others.
I know, and if what I think is going to happen isn't going to happen, then yeah, they're going to drop the titles, and Beth and Natalya will win those titles. I'd be happy to see that. I think WWE has this plan.
What kind of plan?
We'll get into it at the end. When we talk about that main event, I'll go into more details about this plan, this vision I see WWE trying to go.
Okay.
All right.
We got big plans.
Now let's talk about two matches now that have to do with guys that, in my opinion, shouldn't be wrestling anymore.
Who are those?
And we can extend this to three matches, but there's two matches in particular that I think they're just going to be cutesy, artsy matches that are just for the star factor of who is in it. The first one is Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin in Kurt Angle's farewell match. Right? I love Kurt Angle.
He deserves a farewell.
I understand that. But have you seen him lately? The dude can't move. It's not enjoyable to watch.
He's suplexing people.
Oh, badly. It's not the same.
It's
It's not like it's not the same. I can't. So we got Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Your thoughts?
All right. Baron Corbin's another one of those guys that they got it wrong with. I didn't see him in NXT, but I did see him over the past few years when he did have hair and a little bit after into now.
No, he loosely had hair. He was really thin up top. It was long, but he was really thin up top.
All right. It was a little thin, but his ability to wrestle, his ability to get out there in front of the people and feed off of what they're giving him. I give him props for. I don't want to see Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. I don't care for that match at all. Hopefully, I heard rumors.
I heard these rumors as well.
I heard rumors that maybe we'll see John Cena jump in there, but that's a stretch. That's a stretch for the young folks. That's a real big stretch. I wasn't a fan of John Cena either, but it's like at this point, when you see these guys going at it, it's literally to save the ratings, and it's a stretch. If in a situation where they do go against each other, Kurt Angle's winning.
I would rather see John Cena.
Kurt Angle's going to beat Baron Corbin, and maybe we'll see Cena come out and get beat too.
I don't want to see Baron Corbin wasted against Kurt Angle. Let him get beat up by somebody in the back, can't make it in. Maybe Cena. You know, for those people that maybe don't know, Kurt Angle was the very first match against John Cena when he came to the WWE. First televised match was against Kurt Angle. I think it'd be kind of cool to have Angle's last match against Cena at WrestleMania. Both came a long way. Both are legends. One last swan song.
Okay, so
But Angle makes Corbin tap out. No doubt. If that match happens, Angle makes Corbin tap out. Ankle lock.
Angle got worked by Drew McIntyre. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'm picking Angle to win, but I don't know if it'll be a landslide victory. If he does, if it is a full match, Angle's probably going to get his butt kicked. And then he's going to have to catch him slipping in an ankle lock. Because I don't think he's pinned anybody with the Angle slam in years.
No.
So he's going to rely on that submission hold.
Yep.
Baron Corbin's a long, big, strong dude. Angle, like you said, he can barely move.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see.
So the other match that I don't think one of these guys should be in it is you got The Miz going one-on-one against Shane O'Mac. False count anywhere. To me, this is just a WWE stunt to have Shane jump off something crazy. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but he's going to jump off something crazy. It's the only reason they made this match. The Miz is being wasted. The Miz is one of the best talents in the business, and he's being wasted on a feud against Shane O'Mac.
I have gone back and forth over the years with The Miz. I've hated him, I've loved him, but I've always respected him. I remember him on The Real World. I'm from that generation. I remember him coming over, going through the Performance Center. I remember him.
He was on that really quick, Tough Enough that they did only on SmackDown.
And apparently, he said Daniel Bryan was his rookie whenever they did Tough Enough before.
No, that was whenever NXT first started. They had the rookies being trained by the pros. Miz was the pro, Daniel Bryan was the rookie.
Interesting. So,
I would love to see them two have a long feud again. That would be good.
people got tired of that feud. But as
But
far as
it's
this
good.
feud here, I am on the fence with Shane McMahon as a ring competitor, and I always have been, because certain things he does just does not look natural. It doesn't, and it's painful. I get fearful sometimes when he climbs to high places and gets that look in his eyes.
Is he not going to jump off something at WrestleMania?
What is there to jump
It's
off of?
it's false
It's
count
a
anywhere.
false count anywhere match.
Who knows what he's
He's
going
going
to
to jump off
off?
a truck in the back. One of those trucks with their picture on it. He's going to jump down. He's probably going to have the Miz in like a garbage can, big dumpster or something, bunch of bags in there.
Maybe, yeah.
And the Miz is going to move.
He's jumping off something. I don't know yet.
And he's missing.
Maybe it's a tall ladder in the parking lot.
If he decides to jump his tail off of something, the Miz is moving. The Miz is getting out of there.
Yeah,
Kevin
that's
Owens
how the Miz wins the match.
didn't get crashed down upon, then the Miz isn't either.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm picking the Miz to win it all. That's my pick.
If he doesn't, I'll be sick.
I mean, Shane is the owner's son. There's always a possibility
He
makes
doesn't have the
referee not
talent to
count.
beat the Miz. I'm sorry, he
He
doesn't.
can make the referee not count.
Don't even talk that trash. No, not gonna happen. Miz, easy.
We'll see. What about that other executive match? You got that one on there?
Yeah, let's jump to that one because once again, I think it involves someone that shouldn't be in the ring.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you see Triple H in his last 2 matches?
Try the
It
last
wasn't pretty.
5.
Oh my
okay.
goodness.
I don't
know what Batista's going to bring. Batista might be in the best shape he's been in a long time. He looks to be in great shape. Triple H does not.
Triple H is putting his career on the line. But keep in
Is
mind,
Batista going to be the one that end his career?
keep in mind, Triple H has lost at like the past 4 WrestleManias in a row. I think it all started with Roman Reigns. He's lost to...
No, it was Seth Rollins.
Well, before that, he was a champion. But
I don't remember.
it's because it's been a while of losing.
He did lose to The Undertaker for one
He
WrestleMania.
lost to The Undertaker. He lost in a mixed tag gender match. He
With
lost the
Ronda
match.
and Kurt Angle, yeah.
Then Rollins. Before that. How am I supposed to believe this is going to be any different? He lost against... Did they win against The Undertaker? They won.
Here's the thing. You have to remember. 1, no
got hurt,
holds
though.
barred, right?
Yeah.
If Triple H is running this company, does some of his NXT guys show up so that they can put on a show? Does DX, they're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Does Batista get super kicked by Shawn Michaels? Billy Gunn and Road Dogg come out to help him? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities
Where
here.
was Charlotte Flair at whenever he was beating up on Rick? Was she in the ring?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
That's another thing. Well, they have Batista come back, say a little bit of nothing, beat up on Ric Flair. He comes out last week, plays a video, and says 4 words and leaves. I want to see this guy get his ass kicked.
I don't think Batista is the guy to end Triple H's career. I don't.
Who is there left for him to fight? Like, they literally have to pull guys out of the nursing home to fight Triple H.
I don't know. I think Triple H wins. He's got to have help from somewhere, I think, because Batista looks to be in great shape. I think maybe DX comes out. Maybe some NXT guys come out.
I'll tell you what, the
lot of
one, if you
possibilities.
ask me, Billy Gunn looks like he's in great shape. I don't know, Triple H's legs, they look about my size now. He needs to get in there and do some squats. I seen a picture of Billy Gunn on the internet, and the guy looks like him and Barry Bonds.
He's
buddies.
jacked, yes. But let's move on. We both agree Triple H is not losing his career at WrestleMania.
He's never beaten Batista, so why not start now? Batista's taking the L.
I agree. Let's go to some title matches. United States Championship. The most ruthless guy that is being not used to his full potential, in my opinion. And Samoa Joe. A little David versus Goliath. Samoa Joe.
Rey Mysterio, that's my pick to win it all. I said for a long time before this match was even made that I believe Rey Mysterio came back to go to WrestleMania for some gold. They saw the reaction that he got, which has died down. It's definitely died down, but the reaction he got when he was in the Royal Rumble this past year, not the past Royal Rumble, but the one before that, was tremendous. He signed a contract. I believe when these veterans do sign contracts when they come back, championship gold is part of the agreement. So unless he's going to get a push for a higher belt, which I don't see happening, this is his time. Rey Mysterio wins. Rey Mysterio goes on to have a rivalry with Andrade Cien Almas. That's my pick.
I think Mysterio wins, but I think Samoa Joe destroys him in the process. I think he destroys him and then toys with him just enough to where Ray hits something at the end and gets a cheap victory. Yes, he gets the title. And then I think Joe snaps. I think he takes out Ray. I think he takes out the goons in the back. I think he takes out referees. I want to see ruthless Samoa Joe. That's all I want. He can lose. Give me ruthless Samoa Joe after the L.
Samoa Joe, okay, so if I remember correctly, they said they're not doing championship automatic rematches or something like that. McMahon said that the champions are not entitled to a rematch if they lose the belt. So that's something that could definitely make Samoa Joe lose his beans. What's next for Samoa Joe? What do you do with a guy like that? Like, is he going to continue to cause havoc until he gets another title shot? If he wins, who is it? Almaz that's next? Like, Joe is. I think he's on that brink of the same thing as Braun Strowman. I think they're in that no man's land zone, and right now, he's getting the title push, but that's one of those belts that's kind of becoming irrelevant, if you ask me. Jinder Mahal had that belt this time last year, I believe. Like, what is going on? There's been a lot of different champions since last year this time that's had the United States Championship, and very few of them are memorable. So I think Rey Mysterio, he's going to try to bring some relevance back to it before he rides off into the sunset.
Very possible.
Samoa Joe, he's an older guy, but we'll see what happens with him. I wonder about Joe often.
Let's go to the other mid-card, if you want to call it that title, Intercontinental Championship. It has been said that we're getting Demon Balor in an Intercontinental title match against Bobby Lashley. When, let me remind you, and I know you're going to want to talk about this one, we did not get Demon Balor against Brock for the Universal title.
We didn't get Demon Balor in one of the most important matches of Finn Balor's career. Finn Balor brought the house down in his showing against Seth Rollins, in which I don't think he was Demon. I don't believe he was Demon whenever he first won the Universal title.
He was not.
He's capable of winning big ones without Demon capabilities. All in all, it's all the same man. But the fact of the matter is there's that extra something about it, minus the fact that it's a character that he's not always playing. There's something extra that he brings whenever he's Demon, and we all look forward to seeing him do that. So for him to do it now, it's understandable, but at the same time, it's not understandable because Bobby Lashley is somebody who can be beaten. But this is a lose-lose for me because I feel like they're not using Bobby Lashley also the way they could. So when he does take the L, I'm predicting Finn Balor to win this one as Demon. When Bobby Lashley takes the L, he's going to be back in that no man's land. And if they start a feud with him and Lio Rush, that does not help his character.
And you knew I was going to go there, and that's why you brought it up. I think Leo causes Bobby to lose. Then we get some Lio Rush, Bobby Lashley, true rivalry, David versus Goliath, like Vince McMahon loves to do. That's where I think this is heading. WWE could do something way better. Let me share my thoughts. Let's get Demon Balor to lose, and in the case of a Demon loss, Finn Balor gets stuck in Demon form, and the Demon could go on a run where it's not Finn Balor anymore. He's stuck as Demon Balor. Mind games with the WWE. Gives Finn kind of like a heel turn. Something fresh. Where he's stuck as the Demon until he gets what the Demon wants, which is a title.
See, like, I think
They could get this right.
They could, but they could a lot of things. They can get Bobby Lashley right. They could get Samoa Joe right. They could get, a lot of these things that they're not getting right. Like, I still don't understand what the heck Bayley's character is, but that's another topic.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Bobby Lashley, he lost his opportunity due to not being the man they picked. Roman Reigns stepped into his shoes and took his spot. So Bobby Lashley got an Intercontinental push as compensation to that. Let's not forget that Bobby Lashley won that little battle royal or whatever it was to face Brock Lesnar. And then they made him have a rematch with Roman Reigns. He ended up taking the L in that rematch. So
And Roman went on to win.
Roman went on to win. There should have
Vacated
never
the
been a
title.
rematch.
Yeah.
Roman got a rematch just because Roman said he wanted a rematch, not because of any other reason besides the fact that he said he wanted Bobby Lashley after that. So, getting Finn Balor, on the other hand, stuck as the demon, they would have, in my opinion, it couldn't be a situation where he's wrestling every week. He'd have to be in the back, you know, be an entity, you know, in the darkness, in the crowd, up there like the old Sting was or something.
Yeah.
He's doing paranormal things to mess with his rivals, whoever they may become, whoever he develops rivalries with. It has to have an ominous feel into it. Like, you can't just be him out here demolishing guys every week, because that's what we have Braun Strowman for. That's what Bobby Lashley can be. They need to put these guys in their roles and put them in their spot and just let them do their thing. They don't need to have everybody so congested on top of each other, because now everybody's kind of diluting the product.
Yeah, that makes total sense. But they could do it, and I think it'd be awesome. Let's move on, right? Now we got a couple of matches, grudge matches, if you want to call them that, not for titles. Got some great wrestlers in the ring. Let's start with the argument of who made SmackDown, right? That's the argument here. AJ Styles says he's the man that runs the place, or whatever his saying is. And then you got the Viper, Randy Orton. I'm taking RKO from nowhere. Randy Orton beats AJ Styles. Because to me, Orton ran the WWE while AJ was running all these other places not yet in the WWE. So I think Orton one-ups AJ at WrestleMania.
All right, so this one could be better than we expect it to be.
I mean, it could be the best match on the card.
The way I look at it is, over the past 2 years, who pushed Brock Lesnar to his peak? AJ fought him twice.
Mm-hmm.
I think AJ has the toughness to go against the bigger guys and conserve, you know, his final push and wait for that right moment. I think it'll be a situation where he has to hit Randy Orton with multiple finishers, not one, you know, phenomenal elbow. His other move he does that broke that guy's neck over there in Asia. He's going to have to do a couple moves inside and outside the ring on Randy Orton, keep him down. Is it a disqualification match or something? No disqualification?
I don't think so.
Just a
I think
regular
it's
match?
just a regular who's better than who in the ring.
Now, AJ Styles did not build SmackDown. He helped renovate it.
Yeah.
So he's just going to have to accept the fact that when you say certain things, it's going to draw attention from places, you know, native places. And Randy Orton has no sympathy for what he's going to do to Randy Orton tomorrow. I'm going to pick Randy Orton. You know, I think Randy Orton might hold the belt one more time before he leaves. So I don't think this is going to be a situation where they're going to string another loss to Randy Orton's name in a pay-per-view. Randy Orton, he's been taking L's for the better good of the company. AJ Styles is already over. He doesn't need Randy Orton's help. I'll pick Randy Orton.
And like you were saying, AJ's going to have to hit Orton with multiple finishers. Orton just has to hit AJ with one.
AJ will kick out. I predict that AJ's going to kick out of a RKO. He's probably going to get caught the same way he has in the past, in the air. We're all going to think it's going to be over. He's going to kick out. AJ's going to mount offense again. But the simple fact that it's from out of nowhere, that's when he's going to get caught again. And, you know, AJ's real good at selling fatigue and stuff. So I think that that's the best outcome, is for him to be about to win and catch another one. And it doesn't necessarily have to be out of the air on the victory. He can be picking Randy Orton up off the mat and just catch an RKO. He's going to kick out of one RKO, definitely.
I can see that. Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre. Nothing's really on the line here. This is just two guys. Don't like each other. I think it would be too obvious to have Roman win. I mean, at some point, they gotta put McIntyre over. You gotta remember, this is the guy that Vince, a long time ago, said was gonna be the guy. I starting to see that come to fruition.
McIntyre?
It would just be too easy, right, for Roman to win? After everything he's been through, it'd be too easy to give him a win. I think McIntyre wins here, starts to set up a feud with McIntyre and the winner of the Universal Championship, which we'll get to in a minute. I don't want to spoil anything. I say McIntyre wins. Thoughts?
I have never been a huge fan of Roman Reigns. Even though I have watched him evolve, he's gotten better at his mic skills. He's gotten better in the ring. Drew McIntyre has been the real deal to me ever since the first time I've seen him. Everything about him, and he's really as big as they say he is. So he's also in that no man's land too. Drew McIntyre is just kind of there. Since leaving Dolph Ziggler, he hasn't done anything. So a win here for McIntyre.
He's been a Baron Corbin goon, is what he's been. Him and Lashley both.
Drew McIntyre needs this win more than Roman Reigns needs this win.
Let me throw out a wild card factor here. It's been rumored Ambrose is done, the WWE, right? What if Ambrose cost Roman at WrestleMania? It could be his farewell.
Cost Roman Reigns?
Yeah. Think about it. Ambrose has had this character turn, right? Him and Rollins were feuding for a while. He didn't get to stick it to Roman kind of like he did Seth Rollins. Because the way I think Dean Ambrose is feeling is the WWE has picked these two guys over me. Roman's continually gotten his push. Seth has continually gotten his push. Dean was kind of thrown on the back burner when these other two guys were vaulted up. He can hold a grudge, cost Roman a victory at Mania.
All right, so Dean Ambrose. I have never been a huge fan.
I've been more of an Ambrose fan than a Rollins fan, or than a Roman Reigns fan. Seth's the real deal. For ranking those three guys, I'm going Seth, Dean, Roman.
Dean doesn't have a match at Mania. Dean has zero people talking about him besides the fact that he might be done. Dean Ambrose, I think, was great on SmackDown. I have not been a Dean Ambrose fan, but when he went over there as the champion, I watched him grow, I think, as a competitor. And then when he came back from his injury, you know, everybody's talking about how much better shape he looked like he was in. I just noticed how much better conditioning he was in as far as his bumps and hitting the ropes and just transition between moves. He didn't break character, and I liked where he went those few weeks in between him and Rollins beefing, and him, you know, when Roman Reigns announced he had cancer, Dean Ambrose left the group that night. I don't know how I feel as far as him staying or going, because he's just been so odd. He's just one of those oddballs. Like, it's like You think you get him, and then they change. You know, he's a good guy, he's a bad guy. What is this? What's going on? He's dominant alone. No, now he's a tag champion. So I think that this is just another one of those situations where they haven't figured out what's going on with him, and it's showing to the public. It's showing to us big time. So, yeah. I don't know. Roman Reigns, that's the company's guy. That's definitely the company's guy. I don't understand a lot about why they pick certain people, but I think the cancer thing has something to do with it. They probably knew with Roman Reigns that he was dealing with that leukemia and that he was dealing with that in his football career that he had beforehand, so they took a chance on him, and he did well in their opinion, so I think that's why he got a lot of the push he did out of the three. Athletically, I think that Seth Rollins is definitely a head and shoulders above the rest. He's a CrossFit guy. The fans love him. He could be a heel. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens after this with everybody's path, but I'm going to pick Roman Reigns, I guess, to win. I mean, Drew McIntyre can catch him with that kick, that Claymore kick. That's another one of those moves I feel like can come from out of nowhere. And he's bigger than Roman, I think. I think he's bigger. I don't know. They're like about the same size. So, I mean, it's going to be a very physical match.
Yeah.
But Roman Reigns' message is different now.
Yeah.
He's fighting for people with illness, you know, in a different way. He was always supposed to be the Iron Man, but now that he's actually opened his personal life up to the masses and stuff, he's coming at it a whole different angle. And if he does lose, it's going to be a plus for him too, because he's going to have to go back down to the bottom of that mountain and work his way back up, but they're going to make sure we see him work his way back up. So regardless if he wins or loses, this match is a win for Roman Reigns just to be on the show.
Very true. I like that last point. Okay, now we got the final big three, right? Let's start. Let's stick with Seth Rollins. Let's stick with that theme. Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Seth freaking Rollins. I'll let you start this one.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
The reigning, defending, undisputed, universal champion, Brock Lesnar. I tell you what, man. You'd be a damn fool to think that this is going to be a sure win for Seth Rollins. WWE has crushed people's dreams for years when it comes to this match.
With Brock Lesnar.
Yes. Finn Balor, crushed. Dean Ambrose, crushed. Randy Orton, crushed. Goldberg, crushed.
Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Crushed. Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman, crushed.
The Undertaker's streak.
So, no matter what you do, you always have to consider the fact that all it takes is a couple of F5s to end your night. Not the most flashy move, not the most painful looking move, but when you come flying off that big guy's shoulders and go crashing face and stomach down into that mat, you have a moment there where you realize, damn, I messed up. And then you lose. So I think that we're going to see Seth Rollins get put through a table. I think we're going to see Seth Rollins get put dang near through the floor or the ground, the earth, however you want to put it. And we're going to see him get put through the mat. I'm predicting 4 F5s for Seth Rollins. I'm predicting, somewhere in the range of 8 and 13 suplexes. Seth Rollins is going to stomp his head twice. 3 times. 3 stomps. If he gets a third stomp off, it's going to take 3 stomps to win. Brock Lesnar is really good at, rolling when he's hurt. So, don't be surprised to see Lesnar end up on the outside of the ring if he gets his face stomped to where he can't be pinned. Brock Lesnar is a survivor, man. He doesn't get credit for being a survivor. As big as he is, you think he's always the prey, but he has been pushed several times. Those matches that we named, that he's gotten, his hand raised at the end of. So we're all expecting the Suplex City to get burnt down. Me, personally, I'm going to say this. I think Brock Lesnar's going to retain.
Here's my thoughts on this. I think Brock wins and then hands over his title to Vince and declares that he is going to the UFC for a super fight against Daniel Cormier. That's what I think we're building to this. I think we're building to this. Go to your room. Go to your room. We're doing something. Go away. So he hands his title over to Vince, declares
he's going to pull
at Raw
a Medusa. Well, actually, she
He's
didn't
gonna
she threw it in the trash can.
He's going to declare on Raw his fight in the UFC. It's going to be a WWE UFC crossover event.
That's supposed to be in the summertime or something?
That's what I'm predicting it.
Paul Heyman's been advocating this whole time that Brock Lesnar wanted to be a two-sport champion whenever he did step back into the cage. Taking the WWE belt with him, advertising it on that platform over there. You got more and more of those guys coming over to the WWE, whether it be through NXT rankings or main roster. You got the 4 horsewomen who have an MMA background. You have all this, they're bridging the gap with people who are retiring from so many sports. They're talking about Gronk coming over maybe.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good thing for them to have that belt show up on a. You got people who don't watch wrestling at all that know what it is, that know about it. That when they see that belt over there, they're going to talk about it. It's going to spark conversation, and I think that would be the best thing for them to have that happen.
My problem with that is then he's not going to be defending, because once he declares that he's going to have that fight, he's not on Raw.
He's not going to be there.
He's not going to be around for months.
He's already been around for months.
But this could lead through SummerSlam.
He misses pay-per-views all the time.
But SummerSlam. Hear me out here.
They didn't defend
Tournament,
Survivor
right?
Series.
This is supposed to be a universal championship. He hands the belt to Vince. Vince declares a 16 or 32-man tournament for the true universal title. I mean, give me 32 guys from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, wherever you can get them. Have Chris Jericho come back for the tournament. Have Dean Ambrose be a free agent but declare to be in the tournament, right? This could be done so well, it's not even funny. But I don't think the WWE is going to do it. Rollins wins, leaves Mania as champion.
Rollins leaves Mania as champion, and then what? He feuds with Roman Reigns?
I think he feuds with Drew McIntyre after McIntyre beats Roman Reigns.
I would really want to see McIntyre hold that belt above his head.
McIntyre, Seth Rollins would be the next great match after Mania.
I want to see McIntyre feud with Demon Balor to get to that point.
Well, if he gets stuck as Demon, yeah.
I mean, those two guys had some good matches. McIntyre's a hell of an athlete.
They both are.
Yeah, when McIntyre first came back, I thought he was already going to have a push beyond what he's had. So we'll see what happens with that, man.
WWE Championship. The new Daniel Bryan versus the unlikely Kofi Kingston.
Of the New Day. Everybody wants to see Kofi Mania run wild. I picked Daniel Bryan to win all the past matches he's won. It's WrestleMania. Tomorrow or on Monday, they're going to have the biggest Raw of the year, which might have a championship match on it. but that's SmackDown, so you'd have to wait till Tuesday. It's tough, man. I really feel like when the face loses, sometimes it's just as big as the face winning. It's hard for me to see Kofi Kingston as a heavyweight champion just because he has no chest. But at the same time, the New Day has carried ratings for this company for a couple of years. Like, whatever they've thrown at them, like, sometimes I wonder, back in the day when they used to make wrestlers have these crappy gimmicks and they'd just be miserable and they had to change the gimmick for them eventually. When I first seen the New Day, that's exactly what I thought was going on.
I think everyone thought that's what was going on. And it might have been what was going on, but these three guys have made it bigger than you could imagine.
Never look at pancakes again the same.
Bootios?
I'm going to pick Kofi Kingston.
Bootios, man.
I'm picking Kofi Kingston to win it all. That's my pick. The women's championship and the men's. Kofi.
Kofi wins them both.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my thing. The new Daniel Bryan finds a way to win.
That's my initial instinct.
And I think that the cause of him winning is actually going to be New Day turning their back on Kofi.
It's been rumored for a long time that Big E was supposed to get the singles push, and it never happened. So for it to be Kofi getting the singles push, and for them to have to advocate so hard for him to get to this point, they've had his back.
They won the gauntlet match to even get him here.
Yeah.
Big E and Xavier Woods. Kofi didn't win his gauntlet match to get himself here. New Day got
He won. Then there was an extra guy added.
And he didn't win that one.
Okay, so.
But who did?
Daniel Bryan.
Big E, Xavier Woods got Kofi Kingston to WrestleMania.
So what? Did they become his moral goons or something? If they turn on him, did they become Daniel Bryan's goons of morality?
And I don't think it has anything to do with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is just going to be the benefactor of the tension between New Day. If you remember right, in the locker room, Big E and Xavier were trying to tell Kofi, oh, it's not worth it. We should walk away. We should leave. They're not treating us right. Don't put yourself through it, Kofi. It's just going to be heartache. It's not going to happen. It's never going to be there, right? They were advocating that in the locker room for a couple of weeks, and Kofi would always say, no, I'm still going to stand and fight. I'm still going to stand and fight. I'm still going to stand and fight. And then Vince gave him one last chance. New Day got Kofi there. I don't think Kofi accepted and appreciated it enough, what those two did for him. And I think they might see it too.
That's interesting. There's a lot.
New Day, no more.
We know that tag teams don't stay together forever. We know that. So.
I mean, brothers break up.
They're not.
The Steiner brothers didn't stay together.
The New Day members are not in the tag team picture right now, only because of Kofi.
Yep.
There's a lot going on. They could have easily been in that Raw tag match and would have had some relevance to it.
Or replace Shinsuke and Rusev, or Ricochet and Aleister Black. I mean, if they're the best tag team with the Usos, in my opinion, why are they not in the match? Because Kofi Kingston is getting pushed above the team, and I think they're going to take exception to it.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan wins only because New Day takes out Kofi.
So you think that Kofi's relevance after Mania is going to be used in a feud with the New Day opposed to as champion?
Yes.
And Daniel Bryan goes on to face who? Who's his next opponent? Who's going to emerge?
Be determined. Maybe Samoa Joe again. Maybe the winner of AJ Styles, Randy Orton, would have a pretty good claim, I think. And if you said Orton's going to hold that title one more time, if he beats AJ, wouldn't that put him? I mean, who's the last champion other than Daniel Bryan? It's AJ Styles. Randy Orton beats AJ Styles. Kind of put him up there.
Did AJ have that since beating?
Shinsuke.
No, he beat Dean Ambrose or crap, it's on my head. Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal beat Randy Orton for the WWE belt at Money in the Bank, and lost his belt to AJ Styles, I believe. And AJ had a historical run as champion.
Yeah. So maybe it'd be Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. Once again, you got to think Randy Orton's taking offense to guys like AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan claiming that they're running the show. Daniel Bryan's calling himself the savior. Randy Orton doesn't need a savior, I'll tell you that. He probably eats whatever he wants. It still looks amazing.
Tell you what, if Bray Wyatt does come back, Randy Orton better watch his back because he burnt that man's house down. I don't think Bray Wyatt's forgotten about that either. Bray Wyatt will probably be on both shows if he comes back.
Could be. I'll make it official. Daniel Bryan retains. New Day takes out Kofi.
I'm going to be Team Kofi Mania on this one. I believe that you have a valid point. I do see it in my mind playing out the way you say, but for the sake of all those people and just for the sake of, can you imagine? Like, I hope, I pray that Kofi wins and the reaction is something like you saw in the 90s. Like, I was watching a regular show, it was Superstars or something, it wasn't even a major pay-per-view, and the people, The Undertaker won a match, and the people in the midsection of the arena rushed the dang barricades. They didn't knock them down or nothing, but they just wanted to get a close look at the Undertaker leaving the ringside.
Here's the thing, too. You gotta remember, there's a main event here that is a historical main event. First time ever women have main evented WrestleMania. You gotta save the big pop for that. You can't have the big pop be Kofi winning the title.
You can.
And then dole it down to come out with the main event.
NXT does it every takeover.
Yeah, that tag match last night. Again, the War Raiders, Aleister Black and Ricochet. It was the first match of the night.
It's
the
all about
previous takeover, the tag match was the match of the night.
I believe that the culture there is the match before you sets the tone, and when they come back through that curtain and see those guys about to come and do the next match, it's not like, beat that, but it's definitely that competitiveness vibe, like, oh, I got to beat that. Like, they're not shying away from that challenge. Like, you see your comrades out there giving it their all, and the reaction and the people are feeding off that energy the way the main roster can take some tips from.
Very true. So let's transition to that main event. Winner take all.
Take it all.
They're unifying the women's titles, which I think is a bad decision, but that's just me. You got Ronda Rousey coming in as champion. You got Charlotte Flair coming in as champion.
Whoa! I can't. Whoa!
She shouldn't be champion.
Whoa!
Why did she take the belt from... I'm not
Charlotte Flair
I'm not going to get into it.
is a champion.
Asuka should be defending the title against someone rather than being this stupid women's battle royal.
Asuka should be in the match, but she's not. She doesn't speak English well, so she couldn't cut the promos with these ladies talking all that trash to each other.
Then you
Plus,
have...
Asuka's not going to be kicking cop cars because she probably ain't even here all the way legally.
True. Then you got the man.
Asuka,
Becky Lynch.
listen, once they unify this title, if that's what they're going to actually do, then Asuka will get her chance. But as far as all this WrestleMania stuff, she doesn't have the rights to be in that picture because Charlotte Flair has been putting in more work than all of these ladies as far as at the top of the ranks for a while. The most consistent one, next to Alexa Bliss.
You know I hate triple threat matches. They're ruining this match by making it a triple threat.
But they
Charlotte
made
Flair
it a
shouldn't
triple
be
threat
there.
just so your girl Becky Lynch can be in it.
No, Charlotte's the throw-in. Becky won
got
the Royal
suspended.
Rumble. She won the Royal Rumble.
And she beat up
She
on
deserves
the
her
owner's
spot
daughter.
here. She deserves her spot here, right?
She slapped
Charlotte
the owner's
was
daughter.
the throw-in.
She slapped Stephanie in the face.
She deserved it.
Well, Ronda Rousey can do that because she's Ronda Rousey.
Charlotte
Clearly, because
Flair
Ronda came back and
should
told
not
Stephanie to her face,
be
"I'm too
in
important for you to
the
fire."
match.
Charlotte Flair should be in the match.
No.
Okay, so before Ronda Rousey came to the WWE, what was your WrestleMania women's match? Before all this whole feud with Becky Lynch, before she was the man and all that stuff. Whenever Becky Lynch was the one-time SmackDown Women's Champion, first ever, back in those days, what was your WrestleMania event in this situation with no Ronda Rousey, with no feud? We're biting. With no feud there. So, I want you to think real hard on this because the women's division had 4 people at the top at that time. So what's your main event with no introduction of Ronda Rousey to wrestling? In a 2-way match. We don't even have to have it be a triple threat. It's going to be Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, or Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, or Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss. Alexa is physically enabled right now. Asuka might have something going on that we don't know about. Charlotte Flair has not been injured this whole time. Charlotte Flair is the one that makes you glue your eyes to the TV when she does the moonsault from the inside of the ring to the outside from the top turnbuckle.
Put Charlotte and Asuka together. Leave this Ronda and Becky. I hate triple threat. Triple threat matches, if you guys don't know this, all go the same way. A and B team up against C. C goes outside the ring and lays down for a while. A and B fight it out. One of them gets knocked down. C comes in, steals the victory last minute. Every time.
And it's the same thing.
So what's going to happen?
4-way match.
But at least you can always have 2 people fighting each other in a fatal 4-way. In a 3-way, there's somebody laying around.
Did you see the 4-way match last night? The ladies.
Yeah, there was
You
a
fell
lot of
asleep
laying.
on
There was
it.
a lot of laying around. There was a lot of
Okay.
sleeping.
So, what ended up happening is A, B, and C were fighting. And the champion slides in after they are all knocked down and gets the one who did the work there. The other 2 were incapacitated because of what had happened.
Yeah.
Same story. They need to start making them elimination, in my opinion.
What they're trying to do here is they're trying to let Ronda lose without truly losing. Becky,
Why are you so sure she's going to lose?
they've set it up.
She is.
They've set this up. They've set this up to Becky Lynch winning at WrestleMania. She had to fight her way into the Royal Rumble. She won the Royal Rumble. She gets injured. She had to fight through the corporate BS to get back into the match because they tried to take her Royal Rumble from her and not say that she was in the match anymore. She won the Royal Rumble. They've set it up. Becky Lynch is going to win. If she doesn't win, what's all this been for? Bad television?
Who won the men's rumble last year? Randy Orton?
No. Last year was Shinsuke Nakamura.
And he went on to WrestleMania to fight who? AJ Styles?
Yeah.
And lost because he was the low-blowing Shinsuke back then. The tradition of how these things go has been broken for a while. WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania, going through Royal Rumble and all that hoopla.
Who is the most over with the fans?
Of the 3? Of the 3 women?
Yeah, who do the fans love?
Right now?
Who they love?
It's Becky
Who they
Lynch.
love? So who would get the biggest pop at the end of a WrestleMania victory? It wouldn't be Ronda.
It'd be Ronda.
No way.
Yeah. because
Becky
she's
would get the
unifying
huge
belts.
pop.
Ronda
Becky
Rousey
will get the
is-
pop.
They have not demonstrated enough talent to be able to dethrone Ronda Rousey.
That's why Ronda's going to lose without losing.
Ronda
Becky's going to
beat
pin
them both
Charlotte.
up one night. I watched her kick Charlotte out the ring like Leonidas kicked that guy into the 300 hole. And then she proceeded to almost rip
And that's
Becky's
why
arm off of her body.
they're going to keep Ronda as the strong figure. She's going to drop the title without even losing. That's what a triple threat allows.
You are tripping.
Becky has been pushed to this point.
Becky's been pushed to this point, and she's going to fall short, and she's going to have another makeover of character. My
No
pick
way.
to win it all.
She's the Stone Cold of the women's division right now. Fighting the boss.
Charlotte Flair. That's my pick to win it all. And she's going to tap your girl Becky out. Charlotte's going to unify the titles. And
No way.
she's going to be the next greatest Flair.
Becky wins by pinning Charlotte. Ronda snaps. Let me get to this. I haven't even got to the good part. Ronda snaps. And the only way to stop Ronda from killing Becky is for Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha Banks to stand together as the 4 horsewomen of wrestling. And then who's going to come to help Ronda when they're ganging up on her? Shayna Baszler.
Who retained her title.
Yes. Here comes the 4 horsewomen of the MMA.
You're not coming up like Tommaso did.
It's going to lead to a 4-on-4 feud in the women's division. 4 horsewomen of wrestling, 4 horsewomen of the MMA. And for that to happen, Becky pins Charlotte.
She's
Ronda
a submission.
snaps.
She doesn't have a move strong enough to have to pin her.
She's going to use...
The armbar. The disarm her. Becky doesn't have a move like that, does she? To pin somebody after. I'm going to completely lose my beans if Becky Lynch walks out of there the champion.
You better spill your beans. They're going to be gone.
Heck no. Well,
I got nothing else to say. Becky Lynch wins. Champion. Becky pins Charlotte. Ronda snaps. 4-on-4 feud coming up.
I can't deal. This is gonna have to just conclude our first episode here of Over the Top with Bubs and Mac. I hope you enjoyed. You're watching, you're listening. Doesn't matter. We're gonna be back to talk about things after WrestleMania. Get into what we see going on that week in wrestling. Do some debates with you, and have many more things coming your way. So enjoy.